Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Cardiff City World, and this is 5 things we learned from Cardiff City 2, Reading 1. It was a match that definitely had frustrations for Cardiff City fans. Very poor tempo in the first half, mistakes, sloppy passing again, but ultimately some positive signs as well. You know, Amari Kellyman slowly getting there bit by bit, gets his first goal. Yusuf Salich was very good. Will Fish comes on at half-time as a blinder. Obviously, Trott, sensational. We killed him with pace for a 20-minute spell, similar to the Leyton Orient game, where we just upped that tempo and became, a bit unplayable for a short period. Unfortunately, at the moment, we're not able to put together a 90-minute performance, but it's about 3 points and it's about winning. But let's have a look at some of the things that we picked up from this game. So, number 1. Will Fish must play. Stop tinkering with the back four. Let's get back to a solid, consistent back four. I know he had a bit of a knee injury, but when they're fit, we have to stick with this back five. Obviously with Trott as well. But one of the clearest messages from this game for me, when the back four has been consistent, we've been very solid. In the case of, pairing Dylan Lawler, Will Fish with Bagan and Capaccio as the fullbacks, we have looked solid. Earlier in the season, that combination was unbeaten at home. Hadn't conceded a goal from open play in the league. It was a remarkable and consistent baseline for the team. It was a good foundation to build on. Once Brian Barry Murphy began to sort of rotate the league games, that's where we started to become a little less secure, and the solidity disappeared a little bit. For me, the message is clear. Stick with a back four consistently where you can. And the reason I emphasise Fish is he's been our best out-and-out defender. As I mentioned on the breakdown last night. Out-and-out defender, he's been our best. He is, and again, his introduction at the weekend, it gave us that solid background. He studied the ship. Chambers then settled. His ability to get the ball out quicker to either winger is a massive asset. And it's a bit of a game changer because we just didn't get the ball to the wingers quick enough in the first half. He's an old school defender in many ways, but his passing is very modern. Those diagonals are pretty outrageous, but on the thing of outrageous, the clearance off the line when everyone else had given up the ghost was just simply unreal. And that wins us the game ultimately. It's just as important as Yusuf Salich's goal because everyone else had stopped. Everyone thought it was a goal. Will Fish did not give up and he gets something on it. And I believe that if it had been waist high, chest high, he would have handballed it. He was keeping that ball out no matter what. And ultimately, that's the mentality that we've got to have. And I do think that we have a bit of that mentality whereby you look at the Leyton Orient games, you look at the Reading game on the weekend, we just found a way to win. We just did it and just found a way. And that's very, very important. In context, through the first 45 minutes, the Reading team had a game plan and they stuck with it. They had a lead that they probably deserved. They were very direct, pressed high and made it very difficult for Cardiff to play out. Cardiff didn't help themselves by the tempo. Gabriel Osho's very unsettled at the moment. He's making mistakes. So it's important that we can get a settled back four and quickly because that allows the team to have the foundations to build on. In my opinion, Fish and Lawler is the best combination because Fish gives us the tempo and he comes into the build-up play. Dylan Lawler gives us the tempo and allows us to build up the play as we want to. Will Fish has the diagonals and the defensive work. They just work very well as a pairing. It allows the rest of the team to function with more confidence and more consistency. But I'm not the manager, as they say. So, number 2. David Turnbull, definitely better as a number 6 and not a number 8 in the way Brian Barry Murphy wants to play. He was deployed in that holding midfield role to give Ryan Wintle a rest, and by all accounts, he delivered a decent performance. The team needs for that position, he swept up fine. He moved the ball off minimal touches a lot of the time, looking to pass forward, 1-2 touches. Where he wasn't maybe as good as Ryan Wintle was recycling the ball, that was when he wanted those 5-6 touches and slowed the play down and maybe gets caught in possession. But overall, I thought it was much improved from him. And when he moves the ball quickly off 2 touches and moves it forwards and gets that ball going and recycle it quickly, he looked much better, much more comfortable, because you're not asking him to get up and down and be a aggressive creator. And ultimately that's what you want from a number 6. Statistical side of things, on FootMob, Cardiff's accurate passes per match is around 415.6, and the accurate long balls are 29.1. Reading's is a lot lower, but the implication was that ball progression and good distribution from the midfield and the back would ultimately allow Cardiff to dominate. But Reading had a plan, and they did very well with it. David Turnbull did his best in the first half, and I think he did a good job in that sort of single pivot, because whoever plays in that number 6 role is very, very exposed on the transition, and it is a problem. Plain talk, I think Turnbull playing in the number 8 is a little bit problematic. It risks the team slowing down and the tempo's lost, and he just kind of gets caught in between. You anchor him deeper and he frees up others, and he just helps with the pressing triggers, and he moves the ball quickly. I thought he played well without being incredible, but at the moment Ryan Wintle's probably the better suited for that role. Maybe Alex Robertson comes in and gives us a different avenue with some different traits and a bit more pace, etc. Or maybe Gabriel Osho. And on the midfield shape, number 3, midfield shape is definitely an issue. And this is things like slightly less positive, I guess. I mentioned it yesterday in the breakdown. The midfield formation, or the shape in possession, is leaving us very vulnerable on the transition. Brian Barry Murphy wants a high press. He wants us to squeeze up, and it's absolutely valid. It's done really well for us at the start of the season, but the execution is ultimately teams are starting to work us out, so we have to tweak it a little bit. And in particular, that sort of number 8 role, Joel Colwell or Turnbull, or whoever it is, sometimes I think they need to drop a bit deeper in possession to receive the ball, and then if we do lose it, we've got a slightly sort of more secure shape. Because we are literally, if we lose the ball, we are just that one midfielder away from exposing the defence, especially because the fullbacks are so high. And then on the other side of that, in possession, because Joel is so high, or whoever's the number 8 is so high, and Ruben's so high, we don't have anyone dropping in to pop a pass off, pop it around the corner, turn around and face up the defence. It's a small tweak, but I think it could have a big advantage and a big adjustment that will help us massively in terms of teams now, because there's more and more footage of us, right? The more games we play, the more that teams can have a look and prepare for us. And I look at Bradford, Leyton Orient, Reading, they've all had a bit of a game plan for us, and to a certain extent or lesser extent it's worked pretty well for them. So we have to adjust, we have to find a way. I've noticed that we're a little bit more direct at times now, but those direct balls have got to be in the right areas to the right people. And then, like, either you bring the number 8 a little bit deeper to receive the ball and become a bit more of a compact link in and out of possession, or you bring in maybe a slightly more athletic number 6, maybe an Osho, maybe a Alex Robertson, maybe even a Mafiko who can get about a bit quicker, because that allows you to get about the pitch more, sweep up quicker, but progress the ball quicker. And then maybe Joel being that high up, you can get him the ball quicker, and maybe it's not such a problem. But look, Gabriel Osho in defence is a bit of a problem. The message is pretty clear though. Like the system is ambitious. It's pressing, squeezing the ball progression. When we play at tempo, we're very, very difficult to stop. But as teams work us out, we have to make adjustments to make sure that we can be dominant and make that dominance pay in games. So we don't want to leave the team too open and expose the centre halves to overloads and whatnot. For me, it's a small tweak, but I think it's a big part of the growth of this team and the manager's tactics. Number 4, a game of 2 halves for many players. So one of the start patterns recently for Cardiff has been first half's been quite poor, second half significantly better. But when you break it down, the first half we had sloppy passing, slow tempo, a reluctance to get the ball quickly to the wingers when they were in space. We overcomplicated at times. Just do the simple things. I thought Callum Robinson defensively was decent in the first half, covered his teammates, etc. But when he was on the ball, his tempo was just too slow. Then you had Ruben Caldwell, was a bit frustrating in the first half. Was picking up the ball in good positions, but didn't have any runners off him. So then would either hold it too long or would try and force a pass and give it away. But that attacking rhythm was just missing. Second half, though, was much improved. Even before the subs, it was improved. Kellyman was a bit more direct. Chambers' decision-making in the second half was a lot better alongside Fish. He moved the ball quickly when he needed to. He brought the ball out when he needed to. And he just got rid of it when he needed to. Ruben sped things up in the second half, and he became the heart of everything which Cardiff did. Use of Salic, when you give him service, is dangerous. He will score goals. The turning point, Kellyman obviously lifts the team. He's direct. He beats his man, which comes from Capaccio. And they run at the defence. They score. Kellyman gets the goal. Keeper probably should do better, but we take it. And then the second half, Isaac Davis has been on about 60 seconds. Direct, runs at the fullback, causes problems with just pace, raw pace and directness. Capaccio on the overlap, squares it to Salic, 2-1, and City are in the lead. It illustrates the simple routes and the lift in tempo makes Cardiff very difficult to play against because they're so good when they play up tempo and pace. Ultimately, that's going to be the answer. We need to find consistency over 90 minutes again. We haven't played a full 90-minute performance really since the Wigan game. The tempo's been quite slow recently and poor, and we've had to have like a 20-minute period in the second halves where the managers had to make really aggressive changes to change and make sure we win the game. And the manager deserves credit for that, but let's get it right in the first half, and then we'll not be scrambling in the second half. Number 5, a shock to absolutely no one except Noel Hunt maybe, but Nathan Trott is unreal. Nathan Trott, right? What a performance. Again, all-time goalkeeping display at the weekend for me. Like, he produced multiple world-class saves. There was a point-blank stop in the first half from Osho's inexplicably just passes it to the centre-back. It was centre-forward. It was like he was setting him up for a shooting drill. Trott denies him. He's out quick off his line. Second half, he makes 2 unreal saves, really close together. And Trott stood tall to the chances that Reading created. And it's the badge of a good goalkeeper, as Roy Keane would say. It's his job. That's a terrible accent, but it's his job, and he's doing it incredibly well. He's keeping the team in it when we're not perfect, enabling the rest of the team to build from there. Trott did exactly that. It will be an absolute disaster if we cannot sign him on a permanent deal. Trott's-tastic. That's what my son called it. As Cardiff Trot. I would love to say Cardiff Trot to victory, but they didn't. They made it much more harder than it should have been. But, look, the meaning is serious, right? It's easy, it's simple. Nathan Trott is a phenomenal goalkeeper. He's a massive influence on this team. And I think once we can make those tweaks in the outfield personnel and structure, I think we'll be back to our best very soon. A couple of honourable mentions to finish us off. Ronan Capaccio was excellent from minute 1. Defensively solid, positionally exquisite, and good on the ball. Pace in attack. 2 assists I think he got as well. Composure in the final ball as well. He is really, really coming along, and excellent. And I think, again, if I'm the manager, Perry NG has got to work very, very hard to get his spot back in that starting lineup. Don't rotate for the sake of it. Yes, rotate when you need to, when players are tired or carrying knocks, but let's not just rotate for the sake of it. Let's get a steady 11 going, partnerships, build chemistry, and get the performances back up to the level that they should be. Ronan Capaccio was excellent. Yusuf Salic, I thought, was excellent as well. His hold-up play, his pressing, and his attitude to just getting battered about. He's smiling, he's enjoying the battle, and he deserved his goal. Also, we know the referees just penalise him when he breathes on a defender, despite being rugby tackled at one point in the back. Wild. But, there was a few other notable performances as well. I thought Will Fish obviously was excellent. Chambers was very, very good. I thought Ruben came good in the second half. And a shout out to Keane Ashford. Tactically came on and off. He came on for 10 minutes. But it was a weird one. But look, hopefully it was explained to him and he understands the manager was just doing what he thought he had to do to get the game over the line. It's not a personal thing or even a reflection on his performance whatsoever. In summary, Cardiff, look, we need to field our best back four. We need to get the right players in. In my opinion, we need to find a way to integrate Alex Robertson back into the team sooner than later. And I would like to see the rotations, maybe more for the Cup. And let's get a solid 11 for the league, build momentum, and just keep churning out victories. We know it's a long slog, so let's not make it difficult or more difficult than it's already going to be. Let's get those 90-minute performances back and do the right things. Because one thing's for sure, if we don't make the tactical tweaks in the shape of midfield and we keep exposing ourselves the way we are, better teams will take advantage of it. Now, you could say there's not that many better teams in League One, but there is some decent strikers and decent wingers in League One, decent midfielders, and they will take advantage of the amount of space that we're leaving, particularly in the transition. But there we go. Some positives, some negatives. I'll finish it with this. Brian Barry Murphy does deserve a lot of credit for his substitutions in the Leyton Orient game and also the Reading game. Won us the football match by being brave and making the right changes at the right time. Whether it was Will Fish coming on at half time, whether it was, Callum Robinson and Yusuf Salic coming on and playing together, and Ruben dropping a bit deeper, deserves credit for that because they came off and they worked. There'll be a time maybe where they don't work, but at the moment they're working. I just hope he makes the slight tactical tweak in the midfield sooner than later to maybe stop us being so exposed. And hopefully he doesn't think the solution is Robertson, is Wintle and Turnbull together, because I think we all agree that's not the answer. Hopefully we'll see Alex Robertson very soon. But a live show tonight. Don't forget, member show tonight as well. Got more content coming up this week, of course, 7 days a week. Please do make sure you're subscribed. It's massive for us. Spread the word about Cardiff City World. Tell your friends, your WhatsApp groups, whatever social media you're on. Please share it. International break, give us a bit of a hit, but we're back and we are flying. Check out the interview, check out the latest episode of Inside the EFL. Done 2 episodes of that now. One with a 2-parter with Omar Risa. Did one with Joel Jacobson on last week, where I went up to Reading's training complex, and got a couple more lined up. We are going to be out and about speaking to people from EFL clubs, Cardiff Links, etc. Any suggestions? Always welcome for content, for interviews, whatever it may be. And if you haven't got your Sean Morrison tickets, I believe there's 1 or 2 left. I don't think there's many. This Friday. Cannot wait. Let's get those last couple sold. Contact CardiffCityWorld@gmail.com. I'll see you there. And remember to contact me about your Cardiff City World shirts if you bought one, so I can get it to you as soon as possible. Nice one. Keep the faith. In a bit.